Oh my gosh. So every time I am coming from Vanessa's home, I stop in the same spot. I want to know the name of this place. If you're from Northern California and you know exactly where I'm at, you're welcome to tell me where I'm at, because I really don't know and I can't stop my phone. But it's just beautiful. Let me see if you could see some of this. The view is just beyond beautiful, and I wanted you to see that man over there. But anyway, I wanted you guys to, oh my gosh, here we go. I was doing my makeup. I stop here every time I come from seeing Vanessa. And by the way, seeing the grandkids, just, it's a shot of energy. It's a shot of greatness. It's exactly what I need. Like, people say, oh my gosh, you're so full of energy. Well, I know what I need to do and able to bring that on. And one of the things that keeps me just grounded and filled with just, hi, Josefa, can you hear me okay? Let me know, Britt, if you could hear me good. But anyway, I stop in the same place all the time because it's just beautiful. California doesn't have like Florida, water all around, but this place does, and it just makes me feel so good. Thank you, sister. I love you. Miss you all. But this homeless man came. This homeless man came to my window, and I had noticed him on the side, you know, like we're always like looking to the side, just being mindful. I was looking to the side, and I saw him looking at me for a long time, this homeless man. And then he came and he approached my window, and oh my gosh, he approached my window, and my first thought, there was a number of reasons as to why, hola Yaceli, te amo, mija. There was a number of reasons as to why I was concerned about putting down my window. And one of them was, I have no money. I need to stop saying that, but I do not carry cash on me, and I need to start doing differently because I love to give. And I also didn't have any food. I thought I do have food on me, but I thought, oh my gosh, I had this bar that I got from DC, and I had eaten it and I didn't have it. Dios te bendiga, mija. I didn't have the bar. I had eaten it. And he came to my window, and I'm like, I have no money, and then I have no food to give him, and what am I gonna do? And I hesitated, and then I put down my window. And this is what happened. He smiled big, and he said, because I'm doing my makeup, I like to be surrounded by nature and the good things. Putting on my makeup is like meditation to me. I was listening as I was doing my makeup. I was listening to At My Let, that I highly recommend. Max out. And then he was interviewing Les Brown, which is one of the best, if not the best, teacher, speaker that I have ever seen. And just his story, I was crying and crying, watching and listening to his story. And then this homeless man actually comes to my window, and he doesn't want any money, and he doesn't want any food. He smiles big, and it was just so amazing, because as he smiled, he had missing teeth, and it was just a beautiful sight. And he said to me, and I don't want to embarrass him because he's folding his blanket, but he says to me, you look beautiful. And if you know anything about me, words of affirmation are like my jam. That's my love language. And then, you're beautiful means so much to me, because I didn't always think I was beautiful. But one thing that you may not know, I don't know if you've read my book or not, but Gratitude Transformation, where I tell my story, one of the things that was extremely difficult for me was to even believe that I was made in the image of God. because I was not the right color and I didn't have the right hair, and all these things that were just not so, because it didn't matter to God. God made all the colors, all the hairs and everything else. And it was just beautiful. He actually came and he was right next to me. I just didn't want to put the camera on him. I didn't want to embarrass him, but it was just so beautiful. Hi, Ralph. It's so good to see you, my brother. How are your little girls? You're such an amazing dad. All I think about Ralph is I think of just a great dad. Thank you for watching. But, you know, our perception that someone is going to want money, that someone is going to want food, that someone is going to want this or want that, not necessarily true. And, you know, I thought of that poem, My Sister, when I was a young girl. Like, this poem was big back in the 60s and the 70s. Desiderata is Desiderata. Just a beautiful poem, if you can look that up. But there is a part that says, speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even to the dull and the ignorant. They too have a story. They too have their story. So I'm not saying that this homeless man was ignorant. No, on the contrary. This man, I don't even want to call him homeless, because there's nothing homeless about him. He has, I believe that we are the temple of God's Holy Spirit, and that God lives within us. And what he showed me this morning was the love of God. What he showed me was, hey, I don't have stuff, but I have all the good stuff. And I'd rather you have all the right stuff in here than out here, right? He taught me gratitude. He taught me that, hey, I don't have to have all the financial stuff, but I have all the right stuff, and I'm extremely grateful. And whatever I have, which may not be much, I'm going to give that to you. I'm going to impart that in you. And isn't that what God has called us to do? I am a Christian. I love Jesus, but I'm so tired of us Christians. It's like Gandhi said, I would be a Christian if it was not for the Christians, right? It's like we have a perception of what we think. I was listening, and I don't even know to what I was listening to Vanessa's pastor preach yesterday, and he quoted an episode of The Simpsons, and he said that, I guess in this, and I don't watch The Simpsons. It's nothing against The Simpsons. It's just, I don't watch TV. It's just not my thing. But he was saying that in this particular episode, the character of The Simpsons was saying to the neighbors, because the neighbors were missing for a while, and he was saying, hey, where did you guys go? What you guys do? And they said, hey, we went to a conference. We went to a church conference. And the whole point was, you went to a church conference. They went to a church conference to learn how to be more judgmental. And I went, oh my gosh, that's exactly how we can turn out to be. And there's no judgment for me coming towards this homeless man, because this man that has no home actually just schooled me. To me, that's having a home, and the right home. This man has everything within the home to be able to be successful and have anything and everything that God put him on this earth to do. I ask that you pray for this man who was so abundant with his love. And again, I don't know where you are at. I don't know if you lost a loved one recently. I'm not sure if you are someone like some of the clients that we have that are survivors, and I don't want to break down and cry, that lost everything. If you lost all the things that were in your home, I don't know where you stand today. I'm not sure if maybe you lost your family, you lost your business, you lost your job. I'm not sure where you are at, but I made this video so that you can learn from this man that supposedly lost everything. No matter where you are at today, you can find something to give to another human. And he gave me connection. He gave me love. He gave me joy by just saying a simple thing. He didn't have to, but he took time to tell me. I don't know if this man is hungry. I don't know if this man is tired. It is 1:30 p.m. here. And after he actually said a compliment to me, he laid down, and I will put it in my story, just pictures of him. It doesn't show his, face from up close, but he was laying down in the middle of the road by a park. So I'm sure that he was tired, and he could have told himself a story. Why am I, when God placed in his heart that desire to do something for someone else, he could have been in his head and said, no, but I don't have a home, but I don't have food, but I don't have this, but I don't have that. He didn't come from a place of scarcity. He came from a place of abundance. But what I do have is my words. What I do have is the love of God. What I do have is the encouragement. And in a time in our world where there's so much division, where there's so much uncertainty, where there's so much going on, what we do have is our words. Make sure that your words and my words come from a place of love and connection and presence. I left my children today, and I don't know, I had a major accident where I saw Jesus, but before I left, I filled my children with love and presence. I said, DC, honey, I have not seen a father like you in a very long time. Vanessa said, Mom, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Because I just stood there. I stood there and I just looked at them. I just looked at them homeschooling 3 little ones. And I said, Vanessa, I just have to take it all in. The fact that you're so present, so loving, so kind to your children. You are a really good mom, mija. DC, you're a really good father. You can give that to someone. You don't have to have a child to be a parent, to give someone your words, right? We have the power, the Bible says. The power of the word has life and death in it. Let's use our words to love and build and encourage and be present with someone, especially during this time. This is not about black, white, red, or green. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This is not about any of that. This is about showing up and being present with people and talking about what makes us more connected than divided. Can we do that? Can we do that with each other? This man that was on the side of the road, he didn't look at, hey, you have and I don't. He came from a place of, look at what I can give you. If you and I showed up that way, I believe and declare that this piece of my world in this car is going to be better. I know that I'm leaving right here better. I came to put on my makeup, and this man adorned me with his words of love and connection and presence. You and I can do that for each other. You and I can show up for each other. You and I can do that every single time if we are intentional. If we look to do that, because we could look to do everything else. We can tear each other apart. We can tear each other apart. We're even good and have mastered that. But if we choose the better road to be able to smile, like this man had this huge smile with no teeth. You know, and it just made my day. I wasn't looking, hey, are you missing one teeth or two? No. I listened to what he had to say to me and about me. And guess what? My granddaughter said a beautiful thing yesterday. She's looking through my phone. And I'll leave you with this. She's looking through my phone. Bella, my 4-year-old granddaughter. She's looking through my phone and she said, Grandma, I love to look at pictures of myself. And I said, you're right. And we all love to do that. Well, we also love to hear good things about who we are, even if we are a murderer on death row. And you and I have the ability to do that. You and I can encourage someone today. I love you. But more importantly, the man upstairs, oh my gosh, Shannon, I love you, my sister. He is crazy in love with you and I. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Go out and spread some goodness. Spread some gratitude. Have a great day. Love you guys. And oh my gosh, why do I should do these videos before I do this makeup, because then it's like useless, right? Have a beautiful day. God bless you. Bye-bye.